Hello and welcome everybody to Bish's RV up here in Ludington, Michigan. Got up early and made the drive to get you some footage today because I heard they had a new copy of the 29VBUD Salem or Wildwood, two RVs with the same name, or as I like to call her, Carol. Why Carol, you ask? Well, why not's really the only answer. Never mind all that. What are we looking at on this one? This could serve so many different purposes, and frankly, this might be the last travel trailer you ever need to consider owning, because let's say you've got a family right now, or you're going to have a family, like that private bedroom up there. Maybe you're fighting the fitted sheet and you're practicing, and maybe she takes you serious, and maybe you end up expanding on that family or starting your family. This is a fantastic bunkhouse. It gives you awesome rainy day living space, and the VersaLounge that they have in these is just the ultimate in seating flexibility. It is one of the things that absolutely has me in love with Salems and Wildwoods. The thing is, though, it's the back room on this one. It is ultra flexible. By default, it's a cool like L bunkhouse. But the cool thing is the top bunks flip out of the way. They actually have chalkboards underneath them just for fun. The other thing is below that you have their Versa Queen. During the day, it's like just a cool little daytime sofa, or it can act as an extended or second living room, but at night it folds down into a Camp Queen bed. So this could legitimately be a true two queen bedroom, and you've got the bunk space above, or you could very easily convert something like this into an office. Really, all you'd have to do is add like a little table in front of that sofa, and voila, there you go. You have yourself an office. I don't know why I turned in the French chef from The Little Mermaid, but there we are. 23 updates looking good on this one, by the way. They added a smexy little mirrored front fireplace on these so you can see what your shins look like when you're walking by. Very important, mind you. Carpetless slide and a new, totally like different arrangement in the bedroom that I don't know if you're going to love it or hate it, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you what it is, and I want to hear from you. What do you like? What do you dislike? What would you change given the opportunity? And if you like how we share the good, the bad, with the ugly, with everything in between, hit that subscribe button. Let's get going. Now right away, kicking off a good with the bad, just so that we can kind of demonstrate that fairness. Like, this has a nice taller ceiling at 6'9" on the sidewalls. It's vaulted outside, linear inside, meaning flat inside if you don't remember your geometry class. And that is not daylight. They're using a white accent light above that slide, which seems to be a little less common in the industry, at least in the world of travel trailers. You find a lot of Labatt blue lights going on there above the slide out. Now they've changed up the flooring here. I'd be very curious to know what you think about this. This is the new 23 flooring you're going to find in the majority of the, Wildwood stick and tin family. And again, being fair, this RV has a shortage of campside windows. That is just kind of one of the hiccups of this floor plan, because the door and this big super slide overlap. They can't just flippity flop this thing and whip it around. The air is centralized. It is a 13,500 BTU standard. You can get a 15 upgrade. You can also get 50 amp service optionally on these if you wanted to add a second air. So, keep in mind what we have here on this video may vary. Again, we might have a Wildwood in stock somewhere instead of a Salem. It might be 50 amp instead of 30, but everything else basically on the inside, like all of the color palettes that you see on the inside, will not change. Now, this is one of my favorite things that we have going on here. The VersaLounge and these just big panoramic windows giving you maximum viewing. Now, the big windows don't open for breeze. The side windows do open for breeze. But like I said, this is just the ultimate in flexibility right here. And right now we've got it in big old like nap and couch lounge mode. We're going to come back in just a few minutes and get to see this in all its glory. But first, another 23 update. They got rid of the carpeting in the slide flooring. Last year, weirdly, the X-Lite, the smaller, or in the Salem version, the Cruise Light, the little brother went carpetless before the big brother, but they are both now carpetless flooring. And actually, the Wildwood laminated stuff, the Heritage Glen series and the Salem Hemisphere series have also gone carpetless. So in case you hadn't seen our 2023 sneak preview on the brand, there you go. Now, one of the other things here, if you sit down in this one in the driver's seat, that big giant barn door to that back room, because it is so large, it makes everything look and feel so open. Now, we're going to get a better look at this coming from the other direction, but if you do add a TV over here, they kind of give you a dealer's choice. You're just staring right at this thing. And another 23 update that I mentioned, you've got that mirrored fireplace face right there. Personally, I think they look absolutely awesome, and you get to see my little Adatus down there. And in case you're wondering where I keep all my dad jokes, I keep those things convenient stored. in a base. Thank you. Thank you. I can hear you groaning through the screen, even though this is pre-recorded. So back here in this private room again, we do have that cargo bunk feature. I'm actually so proud of that. That door right there was actually my idea that I threw at Wildwood. They went, huh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that will actually be kind of a key thing when we get into road mode functionality. You may have noticed the TV hookups in the above that little cargo door. And those things right there, those are chalkboards below those flip-up bunks. One thing I don't want to miss, though, is there's actually just like open pocket storage down there. So maybe if you got some thin, long, flat totes or, you know, just shove the kids' bags or something under there, or just a good place to keep some Monopoly boards or that folding, like, mini treadmill that you never use. Perfect little spot for that. Because that's the thing. Right now, we're in like expanded second living room mode. This could perform some additional functions, which I think is very cool. You could turn this, like if the kids move out, this could be an office. This could be a second living room. It could be a craft room, a dog kennel. You could use this, like, if you're like, listen, I don't want a full toy hauler, but I want something to be able to transport, like, my recumbent bikes that cost thousands of dollars instead of on the bumper of my RV where everybody can grab them. That's what this one can do. But also, the VersaBunk system. That folds down. What's cool about that L bunk on top, across the rear wall, that is adult size because it's basically 8 foot long. So this is a bunkhouse that could work for little kids. It's a bunkhouse that could work for big kids. This is a bunkhouse that may work for special needs kids who need their private decompression space. This could be a literal mother-in-law, father-in-law suite in case, dad needs to come live with us for a while or something like that. We need to go camping. This RV is, like I said, just incredibly flexible in all of the different things that it can do. Now, making a return from last year, where do I want to start this? Let's actually start right about here. You got those blackout roller shades, and you can see how much light they are already blotting out from the sun. Now, the VersaLounge, if you're like, I freaking don't care, I want it to be just a dinette. You can turn it into a dinette and a sofa. It can become a super slide, super sleeper. It has storage. There's 20.3 cubic foot of sliding tote storage built into that VersaLounge, basically. Or you could take it out. It is so... Between the VersaLounge in the living room, the VersaBunk in the rear room, again, this is one RV that can do about anything. The trick is, it is a fairly good sized RV. So what does it take for towing? We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get outside, actually. Now, all the countertops in this are a sealed edge pressed membrane. They got that little accent light below the fireplace, which actually is a little great navigation light. And you might notice how the bathroom is up by the main bedroom. It is not back by the bunk room. That is something that most bunks don't do. You're going to see in a minute, it's also a shower instead of a tub. And did you notice... This is something I like, because when I sit at a booth, I like to curl my legs under me. I like how that's hollow. Now, I could always slide some more tote storage or something in there. You could create a block off on that. But that could also be another little dog kennel space. Like we always, growing up, we always had small dogs that had those little dog crates and kennels. That would be perfect for the little fur balls that I grew up with. Pardon my backpack here. I got in early and I had my laptop with me. And that laptop with all my work stuff basically has my life on it. And there is just no way I'm going to leave that unattended. Now, moving up front here into the bathroom space. They took a couple notes last year from their park model series. Like you see those little slats over there below that sink. That is something that I think is really cool. Oops, allow me to, where's the switch? Shed some light on the situation. There we go. Sorry about that. Again, taller ceiling means taller shower. So as you notice over here on the right-hand side, you can see that I can actually stand in that thing without my head in the bubble. Now, they didn't have quite enough room, I think, for a real cabinet, but they put some built-ins on the wall over here. You could roll some towels up burrito style, and they'll generally stay there. I think you probably want to keep, like, your body washes and stuff down low over here when you're not using them. And very fluffy, friendly space around that toilet. Awesome headroom, awesome shoulder and hip room. They just straight done nailed it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this door... Ooh, me and this door are about to go around. I'm going to show you one of the tricks of the trade in how you do this. These are the daddy door stops right there. This is why my socks are always black and ugly, because I kicked my shoes off to make on-the-fly makeshift door stops. Someone actually said once in one of the videos, Well, why don't you carry a doorstop in your pocket? First of all, I didn't think of that, so shut up. No, seriously, I love that suggestion, but I carry so much garbage, and like I have a whole backpack full of gear on me all the time. Like I don't need more stuff. Now, I need your input on this. This is very different. I don't know if it's brilliant or insane, and you're going to be the judge. Last year, these had a Camp Queen bed. They do not. It really fills the frame up, though, doesn't it? This is a version of an Olympic Queen. And you're like, a what now? So it is 66 inches wide. It is 78 inches long. So effectively true queenish kind of length. It's a weird size, and they have these weird rounded corners. You could get a foam topper to put on it and maybe enjoy not quite a king, not quite a queen, kind of a queen bed. The thing is, though, because it has enough space, you could easily just swap this out and put a true queen bed in there. And one of the smart things they did, if it's all hooked up, that is still a 60 by 80 plywood bed deck. So if you did want to put a true queen in this, it is perfectly true queen capable. So kind of starting up here, let's take a look at the storage in this bedroom. You see how you've got the, what I'm going to call side stand power pockets. And what's cool about those, you have household and USB outlets basically kind of built in right beside you. That also helps you prevent from feeling a little too claustrophobic. And then, by the way, you do have the same blackout roller shades in here that you had in the other room. Now, laying in the bed with Uncle Josh here, creepy as it is, your therapy bill, well, that's on you. I can't help you with that. I don't make that much money. But you see how you do have TV hookups straight across from it. Now, the question on this one becomes, what about road mode? Can you, well, what can you get to? What can you not get to? Oh, man, I got 10 minutes into this. And the answer is not necessarily everything I would like you to be able to access. And if you appreciate how we take the time to show this closed up and let you see what is and what isn't, hit that subscribe button or like our video if you haven't. Now, if you're gentle, you can snake your way around and step over that L dinette booth area and get your way over to the kitchen so you could make yourself a travel sandwich. That's the technical term, travel sandwich. Now, yeah, if you kind of pick a kid up, you could kind of help them through that area. But remember, you have a cargo door off that bunk room right there. So you don't necessarily have to do that. By the way, something I didn't mention earlier, the lights in here are actually on a dimmer function, as you see. And they actually have positional memory, which is kind of cool. You can leave them up or down. So if you turn them down at night and then early in the morning, they'll still be down for you. Now, where this gets to be a bit of a hiccup is right over here. You basically pinch off the bedroom and the bathroom. But it's, oh, dude, that was bad phrasing. Pinch off and bathroom. I'd like to tell you I did that on purpose, but I did not. You might notice how the walls are moving. This is a rack and pinion slide. So if you want to just nudge it partially to be able to sneak through there, you can do that without damaging the slide. But you really do not want to be occupying this slide when it is retracted like that. Now, a light tiptoe to get around it to get to the kitchen is fine. Sitting in it, shifting your weight around, loading a ton of cargo outside of the factory allotted cargo space on the slide, that you don't want to do. Little pro tip. And it seems blue skies are smiling upon me because nothing but blue skies do I see. On that note, Salem has blue accent decals. Wildwood has like an orangey bronze kind of accent. But again, other than the color of the stickers, or the fact that one says Salem and one says Wildwood on the nose, they're the exact same RV. Now, if you look over here, we have slide side breeze windows, and the slides are slide awning prepped. The word slide slid in there quite a few times, obviously. Magnet hold back on the baggage door, but again, being fair, smaller baggage door over here versus the other side. Up front there you see that handy little battery disconnect, and by default these have 20-pound propane tanks. You can option them into 30s, but just to kind of confuse you, you might notice that they always use 30-pound tank covers, probably just for ease and simplicity from the factory standpoint. Working our way around the front here. Again, the color palette change, they kind of got away from the gray of last year and just gave it a white base tone, and overall, I like the look of this. This looks fresh. It looks clean. It looks like a camper, man, you know. Working our way over here, the backside, I don't know, underside, whatever you want to call it, of this baggage door on this side is a dry erase board. I don't know if maybe you'd use that for a post-trip checklist, playing a game, something like that. This side, though, does have a giant baggage door. As you see, they could have done that on the other side. They just didn't. I can't imagine it's really a cost factor. I can't imagine it costs that much different. They just don't do it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll just tell you everything I can. This does have a Miss Piggy nope, Piggy karate chop door, which is the anti-slam door in case it's super duper windy. And what's funny is I don't really have a good angle at it here. This RV's awning actually looks kind of small when you just stare at the RV. The thing is, it's really not. It's just that this is a deceptively long RV. And on that note, let's talk towing. What does it take to tow this RV around? Because if you look at like the dry weight specs on this RV, it kind of reads like it's half-ton towable. But the thing is, this RV is long and strong and down to get the camping on. And as a result, it could more easily push around half-ton vehicles that either have a short wheelbase or just physically weigh less and are easier to get pushed around by a tow vehicle. So with that in mind, as a result, my general recommendation for one of these would be a 3/4 ton. If you have a very capable half-ton pickup and you are camping in very modest terrain, flat landing, not a lot of winds, just to get it back and forth to a local campsite, maybe a half-ton. But for any kind of serious towing over distances through the hills and dales with crosswinds blowing, you're going to want the extra power of that 3/4 and the extra strength and weight and stability. Now, these have a walk-on roof, and a lot of people have wondered if Salem's and Wildwoods did have a walk-on roof. And the fact is, yeah, they pretty much always have. But you couldn't really access it. If you look in the upper left corner, they've done what a lot of brands have done, and they've added that detachable telescopic ladder mount up there in case you want to get up top and act like four non-blondes and see what's going on. And, of course, you know, the strong arm stabilizer jacks that you saw giving this thing some fantastic stability. I've noticed J-Flight kind of upping their game in that regard recently. And then again, we've got this cargo door in the back here, which does have a deadbolt, by the way. Basically, it's just a miniature version of your primary entry door. So, you know, you can make sure that thing is secure, but giving you the ability to load cargo and e-bikes and Aunt Edna after she croaks on the family trip with the greatest of ease. And again, just one last quick housekeeping note. I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, Salem and Wildwood are quite literally the exact same thing. Like at my hometown store in southern Michigan, we have Wildwood. Here they have Salem. You might look at them and go, they're both 29VBUDs. The interiors look the same. They are identical. A lot of people want to say that one is better than the other. I think a lot of that misinformation stems from potentially dealerships who carry one and not the other, and are just afraid to shoot you straight. I'm not afraid to do that. I'll do my best to always give you the fair information, and when you're ready, we're ready. So until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.